Hi, welcome to Strength Reversed. It's Amy. Thanks for joining me today. It's been a while. I took an unintentional YouTube hiatus because I just wasn't in a YouTube frame of mind. But I took a little break and finished out the school year. My parents came to visit, which we had to skip the Christmas visit because, no one could travel. So it was nice to see them again, and I just wasn't feeling called to make videos, but I'm back with the catch-up for the second quarter of 2021. So I'll let you know what I've been up to as far as tarot and books and shows for April, May, and June of 2021. This year is flying by. This is like whatever my hair's doing this summer, which is just being air dried. Although, I was hoping to look so well rested at this point in the summer, but I'm not. But whatever. So I guess I will start with books. And, I always have more shows than books, which I feel a little bit guilty about. I always feel like I should be reading more, but it is what it is. I don't have the first book to show you. It's 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. And it's not a book that I would have picked out from a library. It's a book that I got for free at the teacher giveaway. And so I took it. I'm not usually drawn to reading novels by those authors who crank out novel after novel. This was no exception. I think I had started another novel by this author a while back and just kind of lost interest and didn't finish it. But this one, 19 Minutes, is about a school shooting. And the protagonist is this judge, and her daughter was a student at the high school and knew the kid. And of course, she knows the parents of the kid. And then she has an affair with the guy who's the investigator. And it's like a big city, but somehow everyone knows everyone. So it's one of those, it's predictable. It was entertaining in the way that a Lifetime movie would be entertaining without being high art. Do you know what I mean? It was a little bit, there were some eye rolls, okay? But I did finish the book, and it took a while for me to get into it, but then I kept going, I wonder what's happening. I'll read one more chapter, and then the book was over. So it was, I like the way she looked into the causes of the kid doing the school shooting. He was bullied basically for his whole life, and there was like family stuff, and some of it was very subtle, and so I liked that, but I did not really care for the main character. She just didn't do it for me. But if you want to sit by the pool, or you're on a plane, or you need a novel to bring to the beach, it was a good one. I just started this novel by Charles Frazier called Nightwoods. I got it at a thrift store. It came out in 2011, and it is about a woman who lives sort of isolated in the woods, and she's sort of a loner, and she ends up having to take care of her sister's two young children, who are very traumatized by the murder that happened. So I have not finished this yet. It's a little bit, I'm several chapters in and nothing major has happened yet, which bothers me. So I'm hoping that it starts getting creepy, or, I got the Robin Wood Tarot book by Robin Wood. It is everything you would ever want in a guidebook. She talks about, it's not the typical boring, like, here's how you read tarot cards that's at the beginning of like every book ever, but she gives how she came to the tarot, how she came to do this deck, and she talks about how she chose the back. She talks about every single color, every single symbol, why she chose this person to be brunette, and why she chose them to have a purple cloak. And it's really good and extremely comprehensive. And the Robin Hood is my grand dame. I've also read a couple of books for work, like What the Research Says About Teaching Reading, which I know sounds boring, but that's only because it is boring. Whenever I read these books, there's a couple more I have that I'm working on, and they're all some sort of variation of that title. I usually realize when I read these books that I'm doing it right. They all pretty much say the same thing, So that's what I've been working on. It took me a while to get through 19 minutes because I'd have to push myself to go back and read it. Some shows that I've been watching. I watched a lot of documentaries this quarter, but I did watch some things for fun. Michael and I watched I guess it's the first season of The Nevers on HBO, which is kind of a Victorian X-Men. And I love all things Victorian. HBO shows are always, I feel like HBO has this checklist of things that they need to include, whether it really fits into the show or not. So there were some scenes that I felt like didn't need to be included, but it's pretty good, and we'll definitely watch the second season. We started Mayor of Easton with Kate Winslet, and she's a detective, and I thought it's either going to be some British detective series, which I don't always like, or she's going to have like an American accent. And she has an American accent. I made it through 2 episodes. It's just too slow. I don't know what else to say. It's just so excruciatingly slow. And Saturday Night Live did do a skit about the Pennsylvania accent that she has. It's pretty funny. So I don't know. I guess a lot of people seem to like that one. I just couldn't. It was just too slow. I don't know what else to say. We are in season 2 of Flack, which is on Amazon Prime, which is about this group of women who do PR. And it's really good. Although I did like season 1 better because season 2 is more about, they seem to be diving into the flaws of these characters, and I thought what was fun about these characters is that they weren't too deep. So I don't know. We'll watch a season 3 if it comes out. And then we watched on Netflix Dirty John, and there are 2 seasons. They're both based on true stories about murder cases. And the first one, I don't know the guy's last name, but his wife, the woman he marries and is scamming, her adult daughter stabs him to death in a parking garage in self-defense. And it was really good. It was really well done. The second season is about Betty Broderick, and I'm obsessed with anything about this case. I've watched all the documentaries because I remember watching this live on Court TV as it happened. And now Betty's crazy, okay? She's off her rocker, but her husband, I mean, he was not good to her, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. But, she'll never get paroled because Betty's not sorry. But it was a good documentary. Not documentary, but dramatization. And then I saw 2 just for fun movies. One was called Sensitivity Training, and I know you can see it for free on Tubi, but I don't know where I watched it. But it's about this woman who is a scientist, and she's very matter of fact and not warm and fuzzy at all. and one of her co-workers, who's kind of plays the game and is full of herself, gets awarded some grant or something that she wanted. And so she goes off on her one day, and the co-worker ends up committing suicide, and so they all blame her, and she has to go through all of this like sensitivity training or lose her job. And it was I guess I would call it a dark, it wasn't even a dark comedy. It was entertaining. I liked it. It was worth a watch. And then I watched Frances Ferguson, which is on Prime, and it's about a substitute. This one is a dark comedy, and it's about a substitute teacher who's she makes bad choices, and her life kind of goes off the rails, and then she gets herself together. So that was good. Now, I love documentaries, but they have to be very well done, of course, for me to get on board. I watched a documentary on Prime about the Unabomber, and of course I remember when all of that was going on, but it was really, I had no idea that the case was so involved for so long. So that was a documentary that was very well done, and it didn't seem to, sometimes documentaries stall and it's like they try to extend the time, but this one was, if I remember correctly, well done. On Netflix, there's one called This Is a Robbery, and it's about a museum that gets robbed. There's an art heist. This is a true story, and they have never found these paintings, but they think they know who took them. But we don't know if the paintings exist anymore. There's a series on Discovery Plus, so I'm not really sure what channel it would have been on, because that's a bunch of channels together, but it's called The Dark Side of the Ring. So if you were a fan of the WWF or WWE, which I was back in the day, these are there's a couple of seasons, but they explain some of the bad things that happened, people's deaths and whatnot, and they interview a lot of the people who were there. So if you were a fan, that was a really interesting series to watch. I watched, in the current season of 2020, you can see that on Hulu and I'm sure other places, there is an episode about the Gainesville murders, and that is the town that I live in, so I made sure to watch that. Now, these murders happened way before I got here, but people still talk about these murders. It's still like a topic of conversation, and people are still weirded out by them. And it was a really good episode, one of the scarier ones. So check that out if you're into true crime. And then the other day I caught something that was also on Discovery Plus called Broken Hearts, and it's about the Hart family who, one of the moms drove the van full of kids off of the cliff, and they had this seemingly perfect life, but they uncovered all of this abuse and really just horrible lives that the kids that they had adopted were subjected to. So that documentary was very well done. Anyway, okay, the next section is what I've been up to as far as YouTube and tarot. And like I said, I took a little break from YouTube, so I haven't made a video in a while. But I did, over the last few months, do several lives with friends of mine. I went live with Marion Kay from Marion Kay Tarot. She's from Scotland, and we had a wee blether, and we got to talking a lot about astrology, actually. She's an astrology expert, and she gave kind of an impromptu lesson, and she made it really easy. She gave me an easy way to think of attaching the zodiac, the signs of the zodiac, to the tarot cards. So That was the first time it ever kind of clicked and made sense to me. So I'm going to go back and rewatch that. And you should too, because she gives a lot of astrology advice and tidbits. I had Rosemary on my channel from Good Journeys Tarot. I have seen her channel since she first started it. We started, I think, around the same time. And she's doing some interesting things. And I think she's making a deck. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that. And both Marion and Rosemary also have Instagrams. So check out their Instagrams too. So Marion K Tarot and Good Journeys Tarot. And then Jason and I from Tarot by the Pines, we went live and did Spill the Tea Tuesday because we both decided we wanted to try our hands at tea leaf reading. It's harder than it looks. So we read some tea leaves, we got all caffeinated, we did some impromptu kind of beginner readings for people, and it was a lot of fun and something I want to continue working at. And we also have a hashtag show me your tea leaves, and that is on Instagram. I guess I want to see the inside of your cups. So if you want to pour yourself a cup of tea and just see what images or symbols arise, you should post it on Instagram and use that hashtag. I also did 2 lives with Manuela from A Place of Stillness, and I love her. She sent me a box for my Titanic Tarot because she got the box when she ordered hers, and she sent it to moi. So I'm really excited about that. So I have a place to put my Titanic Tarot. It's the White Star Line logo, and I love that deck. And we did some live Titanic readings back in April on the anniversary of when the Titanic set sail. And that deck is so beautiful. It reads very well, and it's just a gorgeous deck. I love the colors. I've had to research a lot of the real people that were included in the deck because not all of them are in the guidebook. So I've done a little bit of research on that, and I'll share that when I get done. And we also did Robinwood readings because she got the Robinwood deck, and that went really well also. I love that deck. It's my absolute favorite of all time, and I was happy to be able to read with her. And I was also on Jeopardy on Shane's channel. That's Shane in the Universe. And I played against Maria from Lady Knight of Avalon and Zach from the Tiger's Abyss, and did not win. But it was still fun. So check out the Jeopardy playback on Shane's channel. He might do some more in the future, some more Jeopardy games. Now, you know I'm not a tarot collector, but I, for some reason, the last month or so have just gotten a lot of tarot decks. Not on purpose, but I have. And I think I'm going to do a little summer mini series where I do some walkthroughs. So the first one, I already did a walkthrough and it is up. And that is just something I treated myself to. It is the A.E.Waite Holographic Tarot. This is the guidebook, but it has that symbol on it. I got it on Amazon. Here's the back, and it is just the standard rider weight, but a little bit extra. And I'm loving that. Can't go wrong with a rider weight. I also bought myself the Mystical Moments, and I forgot her name. I saw this on a couple of channels, but there's one brand new channel that I think I'm going to ask if she wants to be on my channel. If you want to be on my channel live and I can interview you and we can have a chit chat and maybe pull some cards, let me know. My email is down below, or you can message me on Instagram. I really wanted to start interviewing smaller channels or newer channels, but really anybody. If you want to sit down and chit chat, I'd love to, so let me know. I I have a lot to say about this deck, so I'll be making a video about that. Now, My Voice Tarot and I came across, I did a video about this deck, a DV deck. It's like the Flower Oracle or something. And I'm not a fan, but it's one of the decks she had always wanted. So we did a swap, and I had seen this deck. It's called Mudras for Awakening the 5 Elements. There's another version of the deck that is slightly different, but it's all just different hand mudras. And I'll go through and show you this deck because I am going to be using it a lot this week. And I'll tell you what I'm up to for that. So I'm excited about that. Julie from Peekaboo Rose sent me a little care package, and this cute little deck was in it. It is the Crystal Ball Pocket Oracle. It is super cute and super to the point. It's like a Magic 8-ball, but in card form. And I've been having fun with this. And then Jason sent me the Antique Anatomy Tarot. I'll be doing a walkthrough. It's a Pippi Deck, which I usually don't get, but I'm really loving these cards because it's kind of gothic-y and kind of Victoriana, lots of skulls and things that Scorpios think are lots of fun. So I'm looking through this deck. I've already read the guidebook. Manuela from Place of Stillness gifted me this deck. She was getting rid of it. Okay, she was passing it on, and she said, hey, do you want me to ship this to you? So she shipped it to me, and it is the Murder of Crows Tarot. Now, I saw this before it came out a couple of years ago, and I thought it was just, I drooled over it. And I thought, well, I kind of want the limited edition that has the splash of red, because the deck is a black and white deck, but the kind that had the splashes of red was limited edition. And she sent this to me. It hasn't even been opened, and it is the numbered deck, which I thought, oh my gosh. So thank you. I'm loving this. I haven't even opened it. I'm savoring it. I'm doing that thing where I want to keep it perfect, and then I will open it when I do the walkthrough. So I'm excited about that. I have this whole like stash of cards right here, and I'm getting kind of, what have I not talked about? Michael got me this for Halloween, the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot. I'm sorry, for Christmas. And I haven't done a walkthrough yet, but I have been reading the guidebook, and I'm going to do a walkthrough of that. And then I found these when I was cleaning out my classroom. I have these Zen cards that I had put on my desk at school. And I don't know if I'll do a walkthrough, but they just have a little Zen kind of blurb on each of them. And I forgot I had them. I've had them for quite a while. So I have decks galore, and I'm kind of letting them percolate and study them, and I'm going to do a little series of walkthroughs. And then I posted this on Instagram. I edged my Lightseers deck. I probably need to go over it again, but I took a marker and I went around every card and did it in this bright sort of electric blue, and it looks fabulous. Just, I feel like it looks finished now, so I'm happy with that. Okay. Let's see. I told you about my little mini series. I work with a spiritual coach. I have been working with someone, and I'm really trying to get on track with meditating. And so I think I'm going to do a little video starting today of a solid week. That's my goal, of meditating every day. I always find excuses to not do it, but that's one of my goals coming up, and I will post a video about what I got out of that. So thank you for joining me. I am going to try to enjoy my very short summer this year. Don't even talk to me about that or my school board, which is being there's like so much drama going on with my school board. It's embarrassing, and I think they all need to go. I am back at the gym, so that's exciting. I've been doing yoga here and there, but not every day, and I'm just kind of plugging away at it, going for lots of walks, trying to eat well and drink lots of water, and I'm just relaxing. So hopefully I'll be back on YouTube and I'll get my act together here, but I have a lot of decks to share with you. But thank you so much for joining me, and watch for another video soon. Bye guys.